July 15, 2013, a forest fire erupts in our local mountains near the town of Idlewild. A 16-day firefight, more than 4,000 responders working 24/7. Starting on private property, some sort of electrical failure, the dry underbrush and dead trees creating excessive fuel. Summer heat and wind gusts keep the fire moving on a fast pace, 2 to 3 miles per hour. The threat to life and property very real. More than 5,000 residents ordered to evacuate.
It was devastating. The entire town was basically forced to move out.
And then rapidly spread this way and then opened up.
Remembering that challenging time, 3 fire chiefs representing Idlewild Fire, CAL FIRE, and the San Jacinto Ranger District, explaining the direction of the mountain fire, the threat to property and lives, and why it was a group decision to issue evacuation orders.
When we got together to make a decision to evacuate Idlewild, not a small decision, a big one, and the decision was a group decision, and it was signed off by all of the involved agencies.
The fire department cannot do it by ourselves. If you take a look at any major fire, it is all the agencies working in partnership together to make sure that people are safe and taken care of, and that we're preventing as much damage as possible.
That partnership includes the Mountain Area Safety Task Force, a group that includes government agencies and civilians with the common goal of community safety. Sometimes all the preparation in the world can't stop the fury of a fast-burning forest fire. In the case of the mountain fire, Mother Nature stepped in on day 6, dumping rain, slowing the flames, a relief to people living on the mountain and to firefighters.
Certainly, had Mother Nature not cooperated, the story could have been much, much different.
Fast forward 3 years, and there hasn't been enough rain or snowpack in our local mountains to relieve drought conditions. And although the mountain fire took out many trees and years of undergrowth, there are new threats looming that could be even more destructive.
We have a grass component this year that we haven't had for the last few years. Our live fuel moistures in the chaparral are probably about a month ahead of schedule in their drying.
Feel that wind coming up? That's the afternoon wind. That's the enemy of the firefighter, because as Chief Espinosa told you, if a fire starts in that dry grass there, really the fuse for fires, it'll spread and that wind will push it.
Another enemy of the firefighter, bark beetle-infested trees. This video, courtesy of the U.S. Forest Service, shows an aerial view of dead tree clusters in the San Bernardino Mountains. We have the same problem in the San Jacintos and the San Bernardino National Forest.
And as you look around, you'll see pockets of what we call red pockets of trees, and those are beetle-hit trees that are going to die. Once they turn red, it's too late. It's over with.
All 3 chiefs say their units are ready for any firefight that comes their way. They all believe it's a collective responsibility between mountain residents, county, state, and federal agencies to be prepared in case of fire strikes. When it comes to the mountain fire, all agree the management of the fire was a success. They did their job. No lives were lost.
I'm very proud of what we did from a common, collected basis where we were all there together to make the right decision for the public. I live by the 2 words, D&E. The public deserves and expects our very best service, nothing less.
People in Pioneer Town keeping pets and personal belongings close by in case they have to get out in a hurry.
I just grabbed a few sentimental things, brought them out last week when the fire started. Everything else is just stuff, so I'm not really that concerned about it.
Some people are confident they won't see a repeat of the Sawtooth Fire in 2006.
It's like most people here, we think we went through it once and everybody has really taken care of their yards and, make sure there's no weeds or anything. So we're kind of confident that it's not going to come back and we're not going to be in it again.
The lake fire has been fast-moving and unpredictable. Fire crews are working all over the San Bernardino Mountains to contain it.
The crews are limbing and taking out some of the brush near the road so that if a fire does come up this way, it will not have any ladder fuels to catch or be high enough to cross the road.
This change in weather is definitely good news for firefighters. As long as the temperatures stay down and that precipitation level goes up, it's going to make things a lot easier for them fighting it on the front lines. The bad news is it's coming with some very strong winds.
There's been a little bit of local influence in the winds that have brought some unexpected changes late this afternoon. Some gusts up to 30 miles per hour, and then right now you can see that the winds are a little light, which is a little concerning to us, but we don't expect any rapid fire growth with it.
Another word of warning for anyone thinking of flying a drone near the fire.
Drones have been an issue on this fire. We've had a couple incidences where we've had drones, and we've actually had to put aircraft down on the ground because of it. So we can't fly when drones are up. They present a hazard to both the fixed wing and helicopters, so they can bring an aircraft down relatively easy.
Fresh fire crews are being brought in to battle the blaze throughout the weekend. Joe Galley, CBS Local 2 News, Sugarloaf.
It's okay. It's okay. Oh, man, we've got horses, donkeys, goats, chickens, turkeys, pigs, llamas, alpacas. I feel like I've got my own little Noah's Ark going out here.
Dave Gross and volunteers throughout the area have turned the San Bernardino County Fairgrounds animal style. But he says it hasn't been all horseplay for him this summer, spending most of his time saving animals from the Blue Cut fire and the recent Pilot fire.
I didn't think that emergency was going to be 4 days later.
Thursday, Gross and others opened a new shelter at the county fairgrounds in Victorville to help residents and their large companions in the wake of a blaze that's continued to grow and has sent more 2- and 4-legged residents for relief.
We've had a number of fire events in the past that San Bernardino County Animal Control has responded to provide emergency animal sheltering, both for large and small animals. But this Blue Cut fire has exceeded the number of animals that I've ever been involved with in an evacuation center to this point in time.
More than 1,100 animals have been rescued from the Blue Cut fire, and about 600 of those animals are housed right here at the San Bernardino County Fairgrounds. As volunteers say, this shelter is no bull, as those like Gross continue to show some humanity in the face of devastation.
The reason we do this is because the animals can't take care of themselves. They need the humans to take care of them. When you see an animal come off a hauler and it's scared, and you see that fear in its eyes, you want to do everything you can to comfort those animals.
Dozens of firefighters making a big stand in the town of Lytle Creek, trying to defend dozens of homes, using hoses to soak the flames with water pumping from the creek where the town gets its name. This is Lytle Creek Road. Firefighters are making a big stand right here as you see flames right up against the edge of the roadway. On the other side of the street, there are dozens of homes, and there are actually people in those homes who have refused to evacuate. Some people choosing to stay, putting sprinklers on top of their homes to prevent embers from igniting the roof. Most people did heed the evacuation warnings, dozens of families gathering together outside the Jesse Turner Community Center in Fontana, sitting down for a meal. But this isn't a normal cookout. These are all evacuees of the Blue Cut fire, all concerned and waiting to find out if their homes have been destroyed.
Our mountain resort might be on fire, and that's only a couple minutes away from where we live. So if that goes, a lot of the community is going to be gone.
About 500 people will be registering with the Red Cross to get a cot to sleep for the night.
I know that a lot of other people are having difficulties losing their home. I know I'm not in that situation yet, but it's just difficult to get back home. I've been in my truck for overnight, and thank God for this facility. I have a place to stop to kind of get my bearings back together and rest before they open up that 15.
People in this community have really reached out to try to help these people. Take a look at all of these items that have been donated for children. We've got coloring books, pencils, pens, toys, everything to keep them busy, but that's not all. The majority of these evacuees are older people, so the San Bernardino Center for Aging has set up a booth here offering gift cards for fuel and food. Therapists are on hand to help people deal with the disaster.
Well, the Red Cross has always had like an emotional support, volunteers that are experts in giving that type of advice and just letting people know that, they're here while it's unsafe to go home, and that they will be able to go home eventually, and that will keep them informed. That's kind of the best we can do.
Some of these people will only be at the evacuation center for a short time before heading back to their homes to try to protect them.
We go up there at night and stuff. We get up in the morning and check to see where the flames are and whatnot, and go from there. If they're real close, like this morning, we watched it come over the hill and stuff, so we packed up and got back out.